Hi! Hello! Welcome to my video. I'm gonna make a video that tells you things! The idea for this video came about because I posted to Facebook if there was any topic someone would want me to write a how-to book on, because I got a book on how to write how-to books, and I really should have expected all my friends to be like, write a how-to book on how to write a how-to book about how to write how-to books! But my friend Karen actually proposed an idea that I felt like I had some authority on, and rather than write a how-to book on it, I decided to make a video, because that's what I'm doing right now, is making videos. Her question was how to determine whether or not the thing you do, your hobby, will be profitable should you decide to monetize it. And I'm gonna take this into a broader sense and cover whether or not you should monetize your hobby. I'm gonna talk about some variables involved that you want to consider before monetizing, and then I'm gonna talk about my experience with successful hobby monetization. I am the type of person who tries to monetize basically everything. The first time I ever got a craft book, I immediately copied them all into a catalog, which I then sent to all my relatives with an order form so that they could order products from me. My grandparents were the only people who placed orders. I am very familiar with how to unsuccessfully monetize yourself and have learned over the years of selling hoops how to successfully monetize yourself. So to cover Karen's actual question, how can you determine if the thing you're doing is going to be profitable? The short answer is you can't. Another flip side answer to that is you can make anything profitable with the right marketing approach. An excellent example is the pet rock. Some guy was like, rocks are something no one would ever buy unless they're a landscaper. But what if I make it, you know, cute? Like, oh, you can buy this rock which I've stuck in a bag and put on a label, and now it's your pet rock. You can keep it as a pet. You get it? It's a new spin on rockdom. It's a common example, but it's a good one. You are ultimately responsible for whether or not your item is profitable. So the real question is whether or not you're willing to put in the work to make it profitable. Aside from the whole nobody knows answer, which isn't a very good answer, social media is a great way to determine whether or not people will be interested in what you have to offer. Instagram is a very powerful sales tool. Download Instagram, take some pictures and videos of your stuff, post it, hashtag the Jesus out of it. You can Max, I'm vlogging. You can research hashtags by like looking up the thing that you make and then looking at what other people are hashtagging it with and using those hashtags. Just put every hashtag on it, and then people who aren't just your friends will be able to see it and give you honest feedback like, this looks really cool, or, you know, like, and just pay attention to that. And especially pay attention if anyone says, I want to give you money for this. They won't actually say that, but they'll be like, can you make me one? Can you teach me how to do that? I want one, etc. But ultimately, the best way to determine if the thing you have is profitable is to just try selling it and see what happens. But there are 3 things you want to consider when you're trying to determine if you want to monetize something or not. Time, success, and scale. Time is pretty self-explanatory. How much time are you willing to invest? Success is something you should consider before you start. How much money are you hoping to make? How much fame and glory are you hoping to achieve? Do you want to quit your job, or do you want to just kind of do it on the side, make a couple extra bucks from time to time? And then scale is what level are you willing to put yourself out there? How much are you going to want to promote? Do you want to just post a few things to Facebook and Instagram, or do you want to hire someone to build you a website, or do you want to like go on Ellen and try to promote, you know, like how big do you want to go? So if those 3 things are kind of an alignment, they're all on the same level, then I say just go for it, try monetizing it. Here are some examples of time, success, and scale all in alignment. You want to make a few extra bucks posting whatever you happen to have for sale to Facebook and selling just to your friends and family. Small success, small time, small scale, go for it. Example 2, you want to make enough money off of this that you're able to quit your job. So you commit all of your spare time to it, maybe even some on the clock time, and you build a website and you try to get your reach out there so that you can put your thing in front of as many eyes as possible. Large success, large time, large scale. Harder but doable, go for it. On the other hand, you might want to earn enough money to quit your job, but you're only willing to put in an hour or 2 a week into making your thing, and you don't do a whole lot of promotion, you're probably not going to get the results that you want. You've got large success goals, but small time and scale goals, and they don't match, and it's going to be a tough road, and I know because that was me for most in my 20s. For some real life examples, I'm going to present to you my story. The story of Just Hoops, or my lazy man's business plan, and how I took my business from small scale to large scale to small again. So in the beginning, I tried to monetize every aspect of hooping. Teaching, performing, and selling hoops were the three ways I knew hoopers could make money, and the successful hoopers that I was aware of at the time were all teachers or performers, so I started focusing in on that. I put about a medium amount of effort into promotion. I made some flyers and I sent class proposals to studios so that I could teach there. I went to local hoop events so that I could connect with other hoopers and potential students, and I spent about 3 years just doing about like that level of promo. And I learned some things during that time. I learned that teaching is way more profitable than performing. I never actually made a dime from performing because the time and scale resources required to make performing profitable were outside of my comfort zone. However, I found that the hoops that I sold to my students were way more profitable than the classes themselves. So I eventually stopped teaching and just focused on hoop making. I would make hoops to sell and take them to the events that I was attending, and I would post pictures to my Facebook of the hoops I was making for other people so people could see what I was doing. But that's about all I did to promote. So I was putting in kind of like small to medium time and small to medium scale because I was at least leaving the house. So here's what I learned from that chunk of time. After just 3 years of putting in a little bit of effort, word of mouth started to catch on. I found that I could go for months without doing any actual promotion, without bothering to bring the hoops with me when I went to events, without posting anything to Facebook, and then out of the blue I would get a few emails from people who were like, so and so told me that you were the person to talk to buy a hoop, and then I'd have a few sales. So that's when I had my epiphany, and I was like, wow, if I put in like just hardly any effort and get these results, imagine what I could do if I put in just like a little more effort. So that's when I opened up my Etsy shop. And when I opened my Etsy shop, I had the very simple goal of just doing one thing every day to work towards building it up. And those things were as simple as posting a listing, sharing a listing on Facebook, joining Etsy teams, and like doing some little self-promotion stuff in the promotion team. In doing those things, sales gradually built up over the first year or two that I did this, and then completely by accident, I started making hoop tutorials. A fellow YouTuber that I was following made a video where she was trying to use a super small kid's hoop, and I made a response video telling her that she really needed a big hoop, and by the way, I make them on Etsy, wink wink. I'm not very good at winking. That video actually got picked up by hooping.org, so then I started getting more YouTube subscribers and also more people heading over to my shop. I noticed that that was profitable, so I made some more tutorials. What I learned from that experience is that making tutorials about your hobby is a really excellent way to establish yourself as an expert and drive sales to your shop. So now it's 2015, and at this point, making hoops is my only source of income. So I am spending all of my time, like literally waking up, working on hoops or my shop or promoting, and then going to bed. Most of my time in 2015 I spent on promotion, customer service, working on my shop. I actually went out of the house and started selling at some in-person local craft shows. I did a lot of promotion, like non-stop. 2015 was my most profitable year, but also the most work I had ever done in my life on anything. So in 2016 I was super burnt out, and in 2016 I did the exact opposite. I did absolutely nothing. I didn't do any shows, I didn't do any promotion, I didn't do jack squat. All I did was leave my Etsy shop up and let it run and let the sales come as they may. And what I learned from that is if you do a good enough job setting up a business, it can run on autopilot while you do nothing and still earn you money. Now I earned about half as much in 2016 as I did in 2015, but that was still about $5,000. So my name was still getting out there despite me like just not having the energy. Ultimately, I probably could have gotten away with doing half as much work in 2015 and still been successful, and I could have maybe found a happy medium by focusing more directly in on certain aspects of the business rather than trying to do everything. But it was a big learning year, and it was also my only source of income at the time, so I felt like I had to spend all of my time doing it in order for us to keep our roof above our heads. Ultimately though, I have come to a point where I'm pretty burnt out on hoop making, and so last month I decided to close up my Etsy fancy shop and focus on some other hobbies, like YouTube. And that's where I am right now. From small to large to small again. Whether or not you see my quitting my shop as a failure, I don't see it that way at all. I learned a ton during my years selling hoops, and I made money doing it. I did what I set out to do, which was turn my hoop business into something profitable that I could live off of. So my ultimate point in sharing all this with you is that if you have a hobby that you've been thinking about monetizing and you aren't afraid of doing a little bit of self-promotion, I say go for it, because you're gonna learn a lot about yourself and your hobby, and you're gonna learn a lot about business and sales, and personally, I think it's a really worthwhile experience. So if there's something out there you wanna try, just try it. Just try it and let me know about it, because I want to see. I want to see what you're doing. Please let me know if you found this video helpful or useful, or if you have any further questions. My name is Jess, and I make videos about who knows what, and I post them every week on who knows what day. And by the way, guys, my You52 project, which is an attempt to make a video every week for a year, is almost at the halfway point. Next week will be halfway. I will have made it half a year posting a video every week, and I think that's the most consistent I've ever been on YouTube. I hope that you are having a beautiful day, and I will see you the next time I make a video. Goodbye.